Before we get to our last topic, touch on Menu RX, please.
Yeah, Menu RX is great. Dr. Jake May and his crew, scientists, doctors, nutritionists, people that study weight loss, study metabolism, study food and the effects on different bodies. When you go with a big box, diet plan, or if you get a diet plan or a fitness plan from the internet, from some random dude you don't even know, I'm not saying they couldn't help some people, but one size doesn't fit all when it comes to health, metabolism, weight loss. Menu RX works with you as an individual. They design a plan to help you for your specific needs, your specific goals, and your specific body. They study your metabolism. They use actual science to help you get the ultimate body. And right now, if you visit menu-rx.com, schedule your consultation and experience what the testing, the metabolic testing can do for you. If you sign up for a Menu RX plan, you'll get a free year-long UCSS subscription. $60 value, absolutely free. Health insurance may cover it. You could use your HSA or FSA payments if you have those. So go to menu-rx.com and get that free year-long subscription to UCSS. Stop guessing and start unlocking your full potential.
Speaking of unlocking full potential, that was an unintentional perfect lead into our final topic of the day. Jason wrote a column on The Athletic about for the Cavs to reach their full potential.
Yes.
It is imperative that Evan Mobley becomes their best player. We talked about it a little while ago in the Tell Me How segment. But when we talk about Evan Mobley taking that next step, Jason, in your mind, what does that next step actually look like for Evan?
It looks like Anthony Davis. I think that's the player he has to become, where he's already obviously a very good defensive player. He continues in that realm, develops a better continues to develop a three-point shot. Maybe even Bosch is a better comp than Anthony Davis. If he becomes that type of player where they are looking for him more on the offensive end, and it's hard. The trick is going to be with two ball-dominant guards. How do you incorporate him more? And he has to be more demonstrative. He has to call for the ball more. They have to make it more of a focal point of not only getting him to the spots where he's comfortable, but running the offense through him, letting him initiate at times, which he's done. We've seen him. How many times did we see him block a shot at one and bring the ball up the floor, go behind the back, and hit a three at the other end? There aren't many dudes in the league that can move the way he can move and can do what he can do at his size. So I don't know if if we're going to put numbers on it, then he's got to average mid-20s and double-digit rebounds, and I think that's very doable. But when he becomes the guy who can carry this team through a game, that's when they will reach their full potential. And I'm not sitting here declaring that he's going to do that. I believe he has it in him. I'm not saying it's a sure thing, but I believe we have 8 years of evidence of Donovan Mitchell-led teams.
Right.
You know how far they go. They go to the second round. And I don't mean that as a knock on Donovan. That's not a criticism of him. This is just the way the league is built. When you have undersized guards, look at the way that he played, and he gave you everything he had in that Pacers series.
Yeah.
And it wasn't enough to beat a 4 seed.
But let me ask you this, Jason. You talk about, you can't win when your best player is a small guard.
Yeah.
And you're right. For the most part, there haven't been a lot of teams that have won that way. But who's the last team that won where their best player was a big man who needed someone to facilitate the offense to him?
Well, that's a good point. That's a fair point. But I don't know that necessarily he's not inept.
No, he's not. He showed that this year.
He could create his own. They have to give him that opportunity to do that.
So how do you make that happen, in other words?
By Donovan is continuing to pull back. Darius has to pull back, and you have to let Evan go. You have to let Evan eat.
So going back to the Darius thing again, does trading away Darius make it easier for Evan Mobley to become better?
Possibly, yeah.
Because now you only have one ball dominant guy.
But you have to replace him with somebody. And the Cavs like having multiple creators in the backcourt.
Right.
There was the Colin and Darius thing. Now it's Darius and Donovan thing. The way that they like to build this is they don't want everything running through one guy because it's too easy to load up on that guy. They want multiple guys. My point, like, I don't know if you're ever going to see Evan as LeBron standing at the top of the key, initiating everything, creating everything. But I think he has that in him to do that on multiple possessions in a game. I don't know that you want to run everything through him, but I think you need to give him more opportunities to do that.
I have something I want to chime in here. So when you look at Evan and like certain areas he can improve, I think there are a couple of things that if he improves in these areas, he'd be a better overall offensive threat. On mid-range shots this year, so not at the rim, not threes, he was only 38%, which surprised me. I felt like the eye test told me he was a lot better from the mid-range. That 28/100, that's percentile. So that was in the 28th percentile of all forwards and bigs in the league, which is not good enough. Evan, I think, is an opportunity to facilitate from the high post, shoot over guys from the high post, and create opportunities for himself from the high post, but you're not going to get a lot of opportunities if you're shooting what's a lot of teams, and the Cavs included, consider the worst shot in basketball at a sub-40 clip. That area he has to improve upon. He was really good from the corners this year on threes. His overall three-point percentage was 37.5%. He was 44% on corner threes. He was only 36 on non-corner threes. Those above-the-break threes, the pick-and-pop situations, he's got to become more consistent in. And the one thing Evan did very well this year, which we saw a gigantic improvement, was his ability to take guys off the dribble, right? Going downhill. But only 52% of his shots came at the rim. I understand that it kind of goes counteractive with shooting the mid-range and the non-corner threes, but Evan's at his best when he puts his head down and he's attacking slower big men. I don't know what that number has to be. Maybe it's 60%, but when he's attacking downhill, the usage rate goes up. It frees up space for other shooters. I want to see Evan start attacking more, getting more looks at the rim, which means he has the ball in his hands to facilitate more frequently.
Shouldn't most of those mid-range shots become shots at the rim? Like
I'd be
ideally?
all for that, yes.
And how many non-corner...
Real quick, I think that mid-range is actually up significantly from where it was. I mean, he was dreadful.
Yeah.
I can tell you 1 second.
2 years ago. Look up last year. I think it was really bad.
His mid-range.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley last year. No, this is... Hold on. I got to get this wrong.
What were you going to say?
Sorry.
I was going to say, how many non-corner threes did he take? Are we talking about a lot of shots?
I can tell you, he took 181.
Non-corner threes.
Correct. He was 65 of 181.
I mean, do we want to see that number significantly drop next year? Is it about being better at it?
Yes.
Or is it about taking less of it?
No. He only took 48 corner threes.
It needs to go up, not down.
In terms of his attempts.
His volume, yeah, it needs to go up.
Okay.
Like, it's continuing.
And
this year was a big leap for him
in
terms of shooting three. I feel like the second half of last season, you started to see it a little bit, and he really sort of broke through this year.
Yeah.
That you don't diminish that. That needs to continue to grow.
Well, I guess part of that is the better he becomes at three, the more they're going to guard him, and the more his ability to take it to the basket.
Yeah.
Right, from there.
Exactly.
Plus, just being a weapon as a three-point shooter.
Sure, right.
And if he has the gravity to pull guys out even more, and you can watch the Pacers-Knicks series.
Yeah.
Look at how differently Indiana guards pick and rolls when it's Robinson versus Karl Anthony Towns. Night and day. Now, one's a complete non-shooter versus one of the best shooting bigs the NBA's ever seen. So it's not like good to great, but his ability to pull guys out of the paint opens up so many driving lanes and spacing for Donovan and Darius and Ty and whoever else is out there. That, I think, is an area when we look at this. What's this leap look like? A lot of it's aggression. And he has to demand the ball more. Bull, we had that discussion on the show, I think, on Monday about how do you get him the ball more. It's on the players. It's on Evan. It's on coaching. It's a collective effort. A lot of the aggression comes from Evan knowing he's taking the shots he's supposed to take. They kind of go hand in hand.
All right, did you ever figure out his
I did. Yeah, Jason's wrong, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Oh, he got worse?
He shot 42% from the mid-range last year. According to Cleaning the Glass, he shot 38% this year.
How many mid-range jumpers or mid-range shots did he take?
245. He was 92 of 245.
And how many shots at the rim did he take?
427.
There was some
Yeah,
percentage.
there's got to be a bigger gap between that, no?
Yes. I want to see him getting downhill as much as possible.
Right. I want to see like 500 shots at the rim.
I want to just see overall shots up. His
Right,
usage
right.
rate
Well, yeah,
was
okay.
at 22% this year.
Yeah.
I want to see the 27, 28% next year.
And it can't go down in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
right.
That
exactly.
can't happen.
And it went down to 17% against Indiana.
Oof.
Like that can't happen at all. Inexcusable.
Right.